Ah, yes, Superman vs. Goku is one of the classics. I saw this coming ever since that one guy from their little group said opinions on Superman scaling has changed. And I am very proud to say that I'm around for this one, because that means I can not only make a video on my prediction, but I could also make a debunk video and it will be fresh, like in the moment. So I want to look at their scaling for Goku real quick, and I have to say they have definitely improved from their previous episodes, but some things definitely need work, as their scaling of the cosmology is very suspicious. First of all, this diagram is not made to be scaled. Second, 13 times our own universe is a massive lowball, seeing how outer space, where Goku and his friends live, alone contains a normal universe, a demon realm, and possibly it contains a hyperspace as well. But of course, that depends on interpretations and whatnot. Not to mention, there is the afterlife, which is a completely different space-time continuum, which has heaven, which is confirmed to be larger than outer space. In other words, larger than their normal universe. And there's also a good argument that the afterlife is on a higher dimensional plane of existence. Of course, Step Battle doesn't do scaling like this, however. And all they do is stack Universal on Universal over and over. Which is suspicious, however, as they do acknowledge such tiers as Multiversal does indeed exist. And it's not like this information I am providing is hard to come by. And I also want to say that they really need to show us their calculations at this point, because this is getting really, really weird. Another thing to mention is I don't like how they try to not use quantifications for things like Super Saiyan Blue or other forms. Some are unquantifiable, but Super Saiyan Blue is confirmed to be Super Saiyan stacked on Super Saiyan God. And they're not even trying to quantify it, even though it's at least 50 times. And they'll also mention the World of Void feat, which is honestly one of the best feats in the show, and I think it's just them being lazy. If it was just a random run-of-the-mill power scaling channel, I'd understand, but at this point we have to hold Death Battle to a higher standard, especially when they gloat about how much research they do. I don't dislike them, and I actually like Death Battle, so please don't think that I hate them or anything. As for Superman, I haven't really seen anything relevant for their scaling of him now. So I want to wait to see what they have to say when they make their own videos on it. But hopefully they do a lot better with him. They're already doing better with Goku, so I expect it. Because their scaling for both characters last time was just really bad. So the way I think these predictions should go is I say who I think wins personally first, then I say who Death Battle thinks they'll have win. So for who I think wins, I have to take into consideration how versus battles should go. I think we should use characters at their best, because if we use them and just use anti-feats despite them having way better feats over and over, then it's an issue. Such as Goku being hurt by bullets or Superman being hurt by a basic stun. Both characters have blatantly shown better feats, so stop being dishonest for 5 seconds and look at their best showings to compare. If you cannot do that and you have to use the best scaling for one character and then low end scaling for others, then maybe the fight was never good to begin with. Stop nitpicking. Another thing to take into consideration for this is how Superman has fused with his past variations, and this looks bad for Goku because many times in the past and present Superman has shown resistances to many things, meaning he could counter mostly Goku's hacks abilities. And even though Superman does have some hacks, he's more of a brute force fighter, and so I'm going to go over that. However, I do think people lowball Goku, I want to say that real quick, but we are also in a day and age where people will blatantly lie about Superman in hopes of giving weaker characters a chance against him. One of the most notable lies for this is when people say the bleed within DC being called 4th dimensional means it is 4D max. That doesn't work, because we have statements of there being infinite spatial dimensions within the universes contained within the bleed, and there are infinite sets of these universes. And that's a far cry from Goku being 5D at bare minimum, if not higher than that. Another thing down players do for both of these characters is appeal to writers and their inconsistent statements. And down players love these. Superman would be common sense as he has many different writers with different opinions on him, so I don't understand why people would ever use those. But unfortunately, some people don't believe Goku is even universal despite him having the feats to prove it simply because a writer says he doesn't feel like it. That is how bad Superman haters and Goku haters don't want them to be strong. There is much more I can say, but I think I've made my point. I think Superman wins. And I'm going to say right now, I don't care if you disagree with me or not. I don't care if you make your little videos to quote-unquote debunk me. I really have dealt with toxic fanboys. I have so many series, I don't have time for Goku fanboys. And I'm not going to waste my time with them. I've been debating for years. I realize win or lose and it's just a waste of time. So I'm going to simply enjoy making videos. At this point even, it doesn't matter how much proof you send somebody. So that's my advice to everybody, just stop at this point. Now for Death Battle, I'm not sure who they will pick, as I do know from Thor vs. Vegeta, they use the term multiversal, and some DC comics, some DC characters have statements related to destroying possible multiverses. If Death Battle uses logic like that, they'll most likely have Superman win for a third time. However, I don't like them using that logic because it's dishonest, because it's basically saying that you can stack universes upon universes upon universes, and it'll only be universal, yet that's not usually how it works, using the tiering system. But also, they could most likely side with Goku to appease the Goku fans, because that's usually where they got most of their hate from. Then again, they're probably just trying to use this to pull another outburst. Like, trust me, there'll be a Superman 4 eventually. Or a Superman vs. Goku 4. Anyways, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and check out my other content. More will be coming on the way. Peace.